Okay, so let's do one of these from the notes. Let's say we have a rectangular prism, and we know some information. Let's say we have a 15 centimeter horizontal width and a length of L and a height of 8. And let's say we know that the surface area is equal to 700 centimeters squared. Well, there's all sorts of ways that we can do this. As you can see from the notes, I've just laid out all the shapes flat, calculated all of the areas of all the rectangles, and then simply added them up and said they were equal to the total. So that's what I'm going to do. However, if you do want to use the complicated formula, I think you may make more mistakes, but decide and go with that. So let's draw the base, which is 15 by L, and then let's draw two sides off of that, which will be 15 by 8, both of them, and then the two sides, which are L by 8, again remembering that if we have two sides that fold up together, they are the same. Then we can calculate all of these individual areas. So A equals LW. I'm going to put a box around that because I don't want to do each individual one. And if we start off with the top, I'm missing the top. Now that one will be 15 by the same as the base L. So let's calculate each of these individual areas. Well, length times width of the top, 15 times 8 will be 80 plus 40, 120. Circle it, meaning this one is also 120. And then this one will be 15 times L length times width. This one will also be 15 L length times width. This one will be 8 L length times width. And this one will be 8 L length times width. Circle all of my areas. And then we know that the surface area is just adding up all the sides. So SA equals dot, 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 adding up all the sides. And if we're given a surface area of 700, we can substitute 700 in for the surface area. Then we can just simply add up all the sides. 120 plus 120 plus 8L plus 8L plus 15L plus 15L. Simplify, 700 equals 240 plus 15 plus 15 is 30 plus 8 plus 8, which would be 16, therefore 46L. Now we're going to see some algebra, which we may or may not have seen in elementary school. So this will be learned later in Equations, chapter 10. But I'm just going to show you how. So we want to treat an equal sign like a scale. I'm going to subtract. I'm going to take off 240 from both sides. 700 minus 240 is going to be 460. And 240 minus 240 is gone, so it's equal to 46L. And if I'm multiplying something by something, I can simply divide both sides to figure out that I get L being 10, mirror it, L equals 10 centimeters. Now that is a final answer, so I'm going to circle it twice, then I'm going to check my answer simply by putting 10 back in for every single L in the diagram above, making sure that we have a formula, that we have a surface area of 700, check mark. Now, usually it's not going to be such simple numbers, and usually it's not going to be such simple shapes. But again, lay the shape flat, write down the surface area formula, substitute in the formula, and do algebra to solve for the sides. Or use a more complicated formula from the formula sheet, substitute, and again do algebra to solve for the missing sides.